I've just stumbled upon some very exciting information that completely changed my view on the Steam frame. It all started with a newly released video by Mr. Survivor called "I made a VR mod hub so installing mods doesn't suck." The video was about him making it easier to play modded games, and his video gave me the first clue of what's coming. He showcased the problem and the solution. Modding is hard, he made it easier. But the comments were more interesting. Especially this one saying, part of getting VR mainstream is efforts like these that are raw solutions to actual accessibility for AAA games. Basically what the comments are saying is that easier modding will make VR mainstream. This got me really thinking. So I revisited an old video Virtual Chap made called "These Steam Frame Mods Will Be Insane", where he showcased how the Steam Frame is way easier to modify and customize than other headsets. So Valve is most likely planning on making the Steam frame into a modding monster. But that's far from the biggest discovery I made. Just look at what Valve has said all the time on their official website. Steam frame is a streaming-first wireless VR headset plus controllers that can handle your whole Steam library. Step into immersive VR or lean back and enjoy your non-VR catalog. And it supports standalone play too. Most people focus on the headset itself. I think the most important part is something else, your whole Steam library. Listen to this, because I don't think Valve's goal is to convince developers to create thousands of brand new VR games. Also, I don't think their goal is to make people mod the games. I think Valve wants to make it easier for existing games to become official VR games, so that the studios themselves can modify the game, or in fancier terms, create a port. Let's just say the future will not be playing VR games. It will be playing new games in VR. After this realization, I began to discover more things. Most VR games fall in one of two categories. They are either small indie projects built around a clever idea, or they are ambitious games that are surprisingly short. That's because building a full VR game from scratch is expensive, risky and time-consuming. And if the game fails, the studio can lose a lot of money. And money matters. But converting an existing game into VR is a completely different calculation. The world already exists, the characters already exist, the story already exists, the game already has an audience, and the studio already expects to make money from the non-VR version. That means creating a VR version becomes a much safer investment. If it fails, the original game can still be successful. If it succeeds, the studio reaches an entirely new audience. That's why I don't think dedicated VR adaptation teams are unrealistic. In fact, I think we'll see a lot more of them. And eventually VR may stop feeling like a separate platform entirely. So why hasn't this happened already? That's because VR is still fragmented. Most VR players are using standalone headsets. Many of them never connect to a gaming PC, and even when they do, the process isn't simple. Steam Frame could change that for sure. The players who can't afford a PC and a headset still can buy the headset and have a standalone headset. This is a devastating blow towards the MetaQuest headsets, and I'll explain why soon. Now, look at this sentence I read earlier on Steam's website. Steam Frame is a streaming-first wireless VR headset. If you think about it, the Steam Frame is going to be like grabbing the controller for playing a football or racing game on your PC. Valve appears to be trying to make PCVR feel like part of the Steam ecosystem instead of a separate hobby. And if PCVR is more accessible, more people will try VR versions of original games. And you know the drill, more people means more sales means more studios are willing to invest in VR. And that could have an even bigger effect on gaming as a whole. If developers know a game might eventually come to VR, they will be more likely to include realistic physics, interactive environments and systems that work naturally in both flat screen and VR experiences. Instead of VR existing as its own isolated industry, it becomes an extension of the gaming industry we already have. And if that happens, SteamFrame won't be just another VR headset. It could be the device that finally connects VR to the rest of gaming. And that leaves Meta and PlayStation in big trouble, because the Quest headset is now focused mainly on being standalone. There's no reason for gamers to buy it, since the SteamFrame will offer standalone plus a seamless PCVR experience. And if we look at the PlayStation VR, they're in the opposite corner. They have a seamless PlayStation VR experience, but aren't standalone. The SteamFrame owns both territories now, and I'll go deeper into what Meta and PlayStation will do with their upcoming consoles in another video. Let me hear what you think about the SteamFrame. Do you think it will be the next milestone or just another stepping stone? And now don't forget to like, subscribe and comment on this video.